Hi, it's Chris Watkin here, and I'm with Lindsay, the man who used to run one of London's biggest business generation units for estate agents. Ross, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
You've set your own firm up now doing business generation for estate agents, but the question I want to ask you today is, what are the best one-liners or scripts that agents can use when following up free valuations? Because most estate agency bosses, the values are running around like headless chickens, but they might have a few negs in there that could probably pick up the phone and chase. So give me some tips. Talk to me.
There's a couple of angles that we can take from this. So there's the simple ones is you want to ask an open question.
Okay, what is an open question? I'm assuming the other side is a closed question.
So one of the things that we will do is ask the open question, and it's a very generic one, and this can cover you for applicants, vendors and landlords, and it will be, good afternoon, it's Ross Lindsay calling from your lead in. Then we move on to the reason why we're giving them a call, and that's because I'd like to find out what plans you have with regards to moving. And that starts an open conversation. And from that, you can react to however they say, because it might be, if you tie yourself up and say, we valued your house because you wanted to sell it, and they might say, I don't anymore, but they might want to let it. So by asking that open question, you've already found out that they're going to say, well, actually, you came out to value it, but I don't want to sell it anymore. I'm going to actually put it on the market for rentals. So that gets a conversation going. Now, we've got another type of question, which you're right, is the closed question. And that could be as close as, when are you going to be putting your house on the market? It's quite direct, but it gets the answer. And if they say never, then you can deal with that question. You can then think, right, do I now try and overcome that objection? What is the reason they're never going to move? And they probably are, right, at some stage. So then we can diarise that for the future. But if they say yes, with a closed answer, I'm going to be selling in a week's time, then you go in with the rest of the questions, closed it down.
Okay, so do you train your staff to get over objections then?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are the normal objections that come up?
I'd ask them a question. It's difficult. From where we are, we don't tend to talk about fees. We try and skirt around that because we leave that in the hands of the actual estate agent, because they know the house, they know the type of marketing. If we're forced to do it, then we could, but I'd already be saying, okay, if our fees are too high, what do you think a reasonable fee is? And just push it back to that person again for them to get, so you get an idea of what it is they're looking for.
Okay. What other objections do you have? What about overvaluing, or other agents said this, or?
Yeah, a prime one is overvaluing. You were the lowest valuation that went in there. I'd talk to them and say, look, how do you feel about the other two valuations that you've had? Are they in line with what you thought? What comparables did the other agents use to come up with the price that you've got? There's no point saying the other agent's wrong, because I might be wrong. I might have undervalued it. So I'd be interested to know what evidence they've used to come up with those figures that they've got.
What other objections do your team are able to sort out?
Things like it's the wife's decision.
Okay.
So that's your standard authority objection. So that will be, okay, if it's the wife's decision, when's a good time to give you a call back? And you're asking pretty much a closed question, but they've got to say to you either a time or say, don't call me back, which is fairly unusual. So they're going to give you a time that the wife's able to talk.
And that works, is it?
Generally.
Okay. Any other tips or guidance on, chasing, there's going to be negs out there that, let's be honest, probably in November, December 2020, the market is going to go quiet. And I know they're going to be chasing sales through to try and get them through before the stamp duty. But any other tips and guidance you can give people? Just a big list of old vows that never came on the market.
I think that's the key. You've got a big list of old vows that came on the market. So you've got to call all of those vows. You've got to get hold of all those people. So really, what you need to do is make sure that you are calling them. So don't spend too long trying to overcome objections. If someone has overvalued a house and you're pretty much guaranteed not going to get it because they've already told you they're going to try with the agent around the corner. Do you know what? Leave it with the agent around the corner for 6 weeks. But phone up 10 other people instead of trying to overcome that single objection that you're probably not going to overcome anyway. And get through everybody. It's not completely a numbers game, so you do want to give service to these people, but at the same time, don't spend too long.
So what you're saying is, instead of trying to, if a neg's ringing up old vows, don't let the neg get dug down in the quagmire. Just say thanks very much, make a note to move on, and hit the other 10.
Precisely.
And play a numbers game.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.